Good morning, you sexy mother hubbards. It's time for an alternative paper review. First up to everyone's favourite Nazi-supporting, tax-dodging, non-dom owned and offshore-based Daily Mail. Oh yeah, it's true. They have a parent company over in Bermuda. They funnel all of the profits over that way, and then the UK arm of it, i.e. the Daily Mail, the Metro, all the other papers and stuff that they own, they all go, oh, well, we don't really make any money in the UK. And then the tax coffers are left empty. But of course, don't let that stop them from telling you who is the drain on the public services and the reason that you can't get a GP appointment. I digress. Today's headline from the Mail is, I've been driven out of politics by abuse because of my support for Israel. So says Tory Minister Mike Freer here. So he's been driven out. That's why he's leaving. He's stepping down. It's not because he's a Tory in London. And London happens to be usually quite Labour, and we're heading into a general election, and he's hugely likely to lose his seat. No, it's not that. He's been driven out by these nasties out there. Now look, to be fair to the guy, it does sound like he's had it pretty rough. Like, he turned up at his constituency office and there were like sort of fake Molotov cocktails laid out for him. He was stalked by the guy who ended up going on to stab David Amos. But both of those things happened a while ago. So why is it suddenly now, as he nears the general election endgame, day of reckoning, that suddenly now he's like, oh, yes, did I tell you how abusive and horrible politics is? I'm probably going to step down. Next up, over to one of the red tops, the People's Paper. Right, which people specifically? Are they medicated? Here's your exclusive, guys. It's page one, it's the headline, it's front page, and it's very exclusive. Yeah, presumably all the other papers were just chomping at the bit to get this scoop. But you pipped them to the post, didn't you? But that's why you are where you are, right at the top of the journalism game. ITV want Claudia to be a BBC traitor. Yeah, I don't know. And from one Madokian rag to another, the Times, who say, get back to basics, police told. Yes, the old pre-general election favourite, more bobbies on the beat. Cleverly wants stronger community presence. I mean, it's meaningless, really, isn't it? Like, if you polled everyone, if you said, do you think there should be more police around? Literally 100% of people would go, yeah, probably. So then the question becomes, well, why are there not more? Where have they all gone? And the answer to that is cuts. They cut them. Also in the Times, microaggression classes teach civil servants not to roll their eyes. Now, I personally love seeing stories like this, right, in right-wing rags, because the narrative that they're attempting to weave is, oh, look at the civil service, look how wasteful they are, blowing their money on HR sessions, diversity training, and now what's a microaggression workshop? That's not efficient use of your tax money, is it? Your tax money should be spent on jacked up rates for locum doctors supplied in by agencies owned by donors. And of course, this fits nicely into that whole narrative, doesn't it? My God, this bloody generation coming a bunch of bloody snowflakes. No wonder they don't want to go to war. Probably infringe on their human rights, wouldn't it? But what this is if we just try to engage a couple of brain cells here, right? Just skip past the headline, the sensationalist nonsense of it. Right, what has happened here is that the civil service is an employer. Like any other employer, it has to guard itself against the possibility that it will be dragged into tribunals, that it could be sued, that there might be settlements. And within those processes, employees or ex-employees are going to put forward evidence to back up their claim that they were treated differently, that they were bullied, that they were segregated, that there was a hostile work environment. Now, within those processes, people are going to go, okay, well, where's your evidence for that? You say it was a hostile work environment, that you were bullied, that you were treated differently. Can you provide some evidence? They're going to say, well, I was in a meeting and she was there too and he was there and you all saw the way that they reacted when I said I work hard. Their eyebrows shot up. That's the exact example they say in this article, is that a woman was in a meeting and she said something and these two guys, like, their eyebrows shot up. They are, you could call them microaggressions, but a tribunal will call it evidence. And so the the civil service, like every other employer, will try to guard against that and say, look, I need you all to sit in this room and we're going to talk about microaggressions and gestures and how they could be seen as hostile to some people. And basically what they're saying, if we water it all down, is don't shoot your eyebrows up, don't wag your finger, don't put your head down like that, don't do anything that could be misconstrued or rightly interpreted as a gesture of hostility or that you're not taking somebody seriously. That's all this is please don't sue us. Like, I would have thought Conservatives would have been for this kind of thing because it's fiscally responsible, right? Like, you pay 150 grand out to run these little HR sessions, but you guard yourself against having to pay out 2 or 3 million pounds in settlements, you know? It's efficient, it's shrewd. Speaking of shrewd, it's time for you to join my YouTube community or risk the disappointment of your already weeping ancestors.